after the ostrich farm, there wasn't too many properties to see. So while waiting for properties to show up, Miles got an injection in his joint to make him more comfortable. It wasn't a very hot part of the summer, and Panda got heat colic, but we got her through it. As well as a crazy hailstorm. We went to some shows. I got stuck on a ride at Lakeside Amusement Park. We went on a hike up O'Fallon Park to the ruins. Always going on adventures. Welcome, my friends, to episode 3 of Finding Our Ranch. I'm going to continue telling you about our journey and how we got here, because I think it's a really cool story. It was exhilarating, and it was scary. It was full of twists and turns and forks in the road and trying to figure out which way to go. Left, right, straight. Do we head back? Do we go north, east, south, west? Do we want a big house and a small barn? Do we want a big barn and a smaller house? What did we want? So I put it out to the universe that I wanted a place that would best fit all of us. And a dragon. Dragon wants a carrot. We traveled north. We finally found a few places that we could see. A place called Platteville, which actually is due a little bit south of us. It's a quaint little town. A little bit bigger than where we are now. We went to this place and we pulled into a house that had been taken from Cherry Creek in old downtown Denver and moved all the way up to Platteville. This house was from 1932. This man had bought it and renovated it to look like a very cool house. Had like 5 bedroom, 4 bath, upstairs, downstairs, and then an upper stairs with lots of bedrooms, living room, family room, dining room, another family room downstairs, a mud room. The house was really nice. It was on 12 acres, and one side of the acreage was a long plot of land that we could have put some paddocks up, but there was no shelters, there was no fencing. Had a small lean-to hay barn and a 6-stall tin shed barn and a outdoor arena in the back with, I believe, a cattle chute so that you could like rope calves and do some western reining and that kind of horseback riding. It had been raining a lot at the time, and Let's say that the man had had a few drinks, so that he was a little bit saucy. And I don't know, I had a feeling that he eventually raised his prices on the property extravagantly. So I don't really think he was ready to sell. It was a pretty place. It just wasn't my place. I really was looking for a place with an indoor arena, paddocks, something where we all could fit. The next house was also nice. Getting into properties to look at was quite a journey in itself. Sometimes it took 15-20 minutes, and sometimes it took an hour. Sometimes the codes weren't right, though they gave us the wrong code. The gate code was the house code, and the house code was the gate code. Getting into this house was a little bit daunting because the lockbox wasn't working. It just wouldn't open. But we finally got it open and we got into this house. It had nice gardens around the house. It had a nice sprinkler system. The property was around 30 acres. It had probably been a cattle farm of some sort. It had grain sheds. It had an aviary with some bird netting around it. It had glorified long cattle paddocks. But it was all very old and needed to all be redone. I couldn't put my horses in there. And we drove around the property. It was very muddy. It was extremely muddy. Of course, my truck could get around it, but we weren't mudding. It would have needed a lot of dirt work, road work, gravel to put on the roads around it so that it would be drivable for a tractor, for four-wheelers to get a hay truck around, things of that nature. The house smelled like mold, and I started coughing as soon as we got towards the basement. We went in the basement, and as you can see, there is foretelling signs of water damage and water running into the basement walls. And at the time we were at the house, it was raining cats and dogs, and we could see that water was running towards the house. So it would need a lot of work and mold mitigation. Obviously, we were not interested. I was glad to look at the place because it looked pretty cool online. Overhead view of the property. Wasn't sure about the paddocks. So we moved on and we went northwest to Loveland. Loveland is by Berthoud, Boulder, Estes Park is just up from Loveland. It's beautiful. It's on the foothills. So I found a couple properties up there that I thought we could go see. And we did. We went up these winding mountain roads. The place was quite hard to find. We got there and we couldn't get in. It was off grid. There was no internet on our phones. It was quite hard to get hold of anyone to get in. We saw the property, we saw the gate. It was very hard to get through on the driveway. The neighbor looked a little bit crazy with all the cats and goats and things laying around. Also, it was mountainous. It was on the foothills. There wasn't a lot of flat land. It was just a house and a barn and a paddock. There was 30 acres, but it was hilly mountain property. It was fun to go to. It was fun to drive up there. And I knew that that was not the place we wanted to be. We found a few places that we could drive by up near Berthoud. And you go west. The places were way too far west and way out of the way from any major roads. And I was trying to stay along the I-25 corridor or where we could find a place along I-85 or 287, which is west. I-25 is that were working there, and they paid no rent. and they were getting a substantial amount of money per month, to where the horses were not bringing in a whole lot of profit. And this is why they wanted someone to come in who did not want to take over the business. The horse trainer wanted to have control. They wanted an agreement between us for her to stay. And what I wanted to see happen with the property as the owner, and what she wanted to see happen with the property as someone working. So we had a meeting with her, and we drew up this agreement. And once again, we were denied. But that was okay, because I wanted to be in control of my business. So for the last time, we said goodbye to Winsome Farms, and we moved on. I hope you're enjoying my story about how we found our place. We had a lot of fun going on these journeys, and I'm really excited that I could have my dad help me find a place, being a realtor for 40 years. And also, he knew what we were looking for. I'm not so sure if we had another person that they would have done what we could have done, and keep looking and looking and looking. And I kept being picky about what I was looking for. I really love looking at properties. It's a lot of fun. You learn a lot about certain parts of where you live. I wasn't quite sure where we wanted to live. I thought maybe we could live on the foothills, like Berthoud, Loveland, Longmont. There are some properties out there that are flat enough. You do get a lot of weather, a lot of snow. Up until this point, I completely allowed our path to take us where we were supposed to go. How we got to this place, I find truly to be remarkable. And this is why I'm bringing you the story. So thank you for joining us on our journey and our adventures. There are many more to come. Stay tuned for the next. What I hope that this can bring to any and all of you is, no matter what, you can follow your dreams, you can attain your goals, and just fight for what you want, and never give up, and never take no for an answer. Winsome Farms wasn't a no. It was definitely a place I wanted to never regret. Would I have regretted not going for it a second time? And I have always told myself I will never regret things. So I always will try, and give it a good hard go. I'm glad I did, because it taught us some major lessons on getting here. And that was why we needed to go do, we needed to try. And it was cool to try. I'm glad we did. Thank you for coming along with us. Until next time, strength, bravery, and courage. Bring it in, give it a good go. Whatever you need to do, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, bring that in, because that's what helped us from the universe and the earth, and all the positive energy that you can muster around you. I really, truly believe and have faith in that. Thank you to all of you, my rock star friend. We are all rock stars. See you soon.